Who will be the next superstar to bend the knee and join Seth Rollins' rowing army on Monday Night Raw? The visionary has made it clear that he's building a movement, not just a faction, of Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed by his side. He's already created one of the most dominant forces in WWE. Think again, though, because while everyone is looking at the usual suspects from Raw and SmackDown, there are a few stars that could make more sense and come out of places you weren't expecting, adding to a completely game-changing decision. A balance of power in WWE, throw it out the window, because Seth Rollins' heel turn at WrestleMania 41 and the new faction that he has formed have turned into one of the biggest storylines going on in WWE. At first, it seemed like he would just have Paul Heyman be his wise man, be his advocate, like he was for Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. However, on the Raw after WrestleMania, it was revealed that Bron Breakker would be aligned with the two legends. Now, reports have suggested more members would not be added. However, we then saw Seth Rollins' former rival, Bronson Reed, join his alliance last month. Now, a new report from Bodyslam.net claims more members are being considered for the group. That being said, we are looking at 6 WWE stars, whether they are from the main roster or NXT or perhaps outside the company, who could eventually join the heel. Kicking it off with the man, Becky Lynch. With Becky Lynch also turning to the dark side, it would make perfect sense for her to join her husband in a evil group. Furthermore, women's wrestling has been more of a key development, a key addition to factions in WWE, and become more common occurrences in the industry, especially WWE. Becky Lynch being part of a faction, well, we haven't seen it in quite some time, right? We would have to go back to the women's revolution, if you think about it, for her to be part of a group or a faction. That's something I'm interested in. I think you would be as well. Having Becky Lynch part of this, being the core woman of the group, everyone has always thought, well, what would it be like if we got a Seth Rollins Becky Lynch faction? What would it be like to have Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins share the big stage, or the screen, if you will, as heels? Because we got to see that a number of years ago. 2019, they were both babyfaces. They worked with Lacey Evans and Baron Corbin. Oh, how exciting development that was. But getting Becky Lynch in on the movement, getting Becky Lynch in on the situation when they're two heels. Becky Lynch, she's always been rumored to be a Paul Heyman girl, right? Seth Rollins, Bronson Reed, Bron Breakker, Paul Heyman, Becky Lynch. That's interesting. To also continue the addition of the V's, right? Bronson Reed, Bron Breakker. I'm just saying, it goes well together. It fits in nicely if you wanted to go that route. And especially as a woman, it would give a completely new edge, dynamic, and real potential to a group that I think has a ton of legs. So we'll see if they end up going this route. On to the next. Ethan Page. Look, the WWE NXT star, he's been North American champion. One of 2 stars mentioned in the Bodyslam.net report as people who had been looked at as potentially joining the group. The Rollins faction could use a good jerk-type character, and Page fits in the role perfectly. Furthermore, he is a seasoned veteran who has earned opportunity on the main roster, in my opinion, right? He has come a long way since where he was in AEW. A lot of people wrote him off when he left AEW. A lot of people questioned the decision by WWE to hire him. They didn't see much potential in him. However, he has really taken this opportunity and won the full distance, and really has taken the ball to a very interesting spot in WWE and in the pro wrestling landscape. He definitely deserves a spot on the main roster and potentially joining Seth Rollins' faction. That's interesting. Austin Theory. Man, this guy needs a reset. Look, Austin Theory was part of the short-lived faction that Rollins once had during the pandemic. Revisiting that history would make a lot of sense. Plus, his duo with Grayson Waller seems to be dissolving. This has been a situation in which, do you push him or do you not push him? Do you go all the way or do you not go all the way? under Vince McMahon's leadership, Austin Theory was a major star in terms of being booked. I'm not talking about necessarily how over he was or the drawing ability, but I mean, Vinnie Mac loved this guy. Under Triple H, not so much. They've literally been teasing him splitting away from Grayson Waller from what seems like a year now. Yet WWE, they keep pushing that down the road. They just don't pull the trigger on it. And now it's almost like, are you going to do it or not? Either do it, don't do it, stop teasing it. But I think a addition to the faction could help him in a lot of ways. Carmelo Hayes, he's an ultra-talented wrestler and performer. However, his size is the biggest thing holding him back from being a big-time star on the main roster for years to come. With Seth Rollins already having a pair of two powerhouses on the team in the faction, they could use a super athletic and charismatic talent like H1M. And Hayes, well, he badly needs the rub of being involved in a program or a group that can give him the star drawing ability that he needs. When he was in NXT, it was a situation in which he was a ultra star. I mean, he looked the part, he acted the part, everything. But we are now in a situation in which WWE, they've just dropped the ball with him since being on the main roster. He hasn't done anything, and he just seems like a warm body than anything. Touch to go on with Seth Rollins' faction, that could change some things, y'all. It really, really could. How about the one, Ricky Starks? Look, this former AEW and current NXT talent was another name mentioned in the BodySlam.net report. And just like Hayes or Page, he also fits the mold of a cocky upstart who is also talented in the ring. Saints' addition would be an unexpected but exciting addition to the group. But Ricky Starks is not long for NXT. This man will be called up to the main roster way earlier than you expect he should be. He looks the part, he acts the part, he is a star. You might as well use what you have. They've done that in NXT. This guy is an anchor down there. He's done a lot of good things. And the crazy thing is, he's still so young. He has so much more to learn and develop. The WWE is going to absolutely, unless just something weird happens, nail this out of the ballpark with Ricky Starks. He's going to be one of their biggest stars within the next 5 years. Potentially adding him to Seth Rollins' faction will only speed up that process. Here's a random one. Lexus King. Seth Rollins' ultimate goal is to shape the industry in his image, but he also has a deep appreciation for the history of the business and its previous stars. His character has obviously thrown shades at other legends. He's also, though, given a little of a hat tip to past wrestling stars, including Brian Pillman. That is why Pillman's son, NXT performer Lexus King, could be the option as well, to pay homage to the past with a very modern talent like Lexus King. Lexus King has had ups and he's had downs in NXT. He's never been really consistently booked, which I find to be just kind of weird. But being paired with someone like Seth Rollins, like Paul Heyman, like Bron Breakker, like Bronson Reed, well, that could change his trajectory, right? Could be. We shall see. But I like Lexus King. I think he has a lot to offer.